Hey, what's up, scholars? I hope everyone is safe and had a good weekend. I know because of the recent events this past week, there are a lot of mixed emotions. For me specifically, I've been supporting my friends over the past weekend who were on the ground protesting this past weekend during my birthday weekend. And I've been really trying to wrap my mind around just how to best support you this week. That's the reason why this week looks a lot different. If you notice, this week is an extra credit week. Every single assignment this week is optional and will count as extra credit. I want to focus on you turning in any missing work you have. June 5th, Friday is the last day for that. Completing also the survey. I included the survey link in the post on Google Classroom for the student survey. Friday is the last day for that. Finishing up the events of the Cold War, and also just reflecting on what's been going on in our community recently. So for today, for example, there's a quote from the Other America speech that Dr. King gave in 1967. It's an excerpt. It says, "In the final analysis, a riot is the language of the unheard. And what is it that America has failed to hear?" So for that quote today, you will just respond and explain how it connects with what's going on today. Tuesday and Wednesday, you will dig through the events of the Cold War, a lot of conflicts that happened, and you will just write your summaries based on what you read in the online version of your textbook. Thursday and Friday are both makeup days where, again, turning in any missing assignment from quarter four. And I will post discussion questions on Flipgrid for you to respond to. You can either record yourself on video and we can just add to the discussion about what's been going on recently. The questions will be based off of this quote from Dr. King and also the question that I have here. How can society confront and change systems of injustice and oppression? All right. So, again, for today, you will respond to this quote. Please make sure you write at least 5 sentences or more. For Tuesday and Wednesday, there are many events that happened all over the world during the Cold War. The first are the Panama Canal Zone riots. So, as we know, protesting and riots have existed throughout history and have been used by groups to kind of voice their frustration just about injustice. And it's been a tool of the oppressed, right? So, please read about the Panama Canal Zone riots and just explain, what it is, what happened, and how the Panamanian people responded to acts of aggression by the U.S. and imperialism from the U.S. on their country. For Section 1 talks about the three worlds. So during the Cold War, countries were pitted against each other. There was First World, Second World, and Third World. So we still use these terms. Some of them are controversial, like developing and third world country. That term is considered controversial because that label was applied to mostly non-European countries in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And Second World was applied to communist countries who were on the East. And then First World applies to those in Western Europe and the US that are capitalist countries during that time. For Section 2 is based on what happened in Latin America. There were several conflicts. One of them was the conflict in Guatemala and how the US was involved in that. The Cuban Revolution. So there were several revolutions during the 20th century that happened. Revolutions did not stop with the French Revolution or the Haitian Revolution. The Cuban Revolution was a major event during the Cold War because it pitted the Russia and Soviet Union versus the US. And then Chile's social experiment. You need to explain how our government or the US was involved in Chile's elections and their political affairs. The last section is about the major wars in Asia. So there was the Korean War, which we're still dealing with, not physically, but just in terms of diplomatic relations with other countries, and the Vietnam War. And then also there were some brutal dictators in Cambodia and Laos that caused major conflicts to happen and genocides, right? So this is what's going on for the week. Reach out to me. I will be on Zoom if you want to talk about what's going on. Also, just reach out to me. You can email me. You can also message me on Student and Parent Square. Again, I'm here for you if you need me. Thank you and have a good week.